Hi everybody, welcome to Brailsford Family Homestead. As we close out the first week of 2026, I wanted to take a look back at 2025 and all that we did together. Some things were really rough, some were great, and we made it all through God's grace. Wanted to come out and get some pretty shots. We've gotten about 6 inches of snow, but I found something that is not good. That is my greenhouse. There is no coming back from that. Completely destroyed. More times than I can count, we had situations like this that I shared with you for comic relief, where my dogs interrupted videos, whether by walking through, barking, or drinking water like they have never had water before. Is she not drinking all day? Can you guys see my eyeball twitching? Because it is. I keep getting this twitch right here. Okay, I think she's done. Let's try this again. We cooked all kinds of things together in the kitchen, from these lettuce wraps to these poultry meatballs, which are still fantastic. Of course, ginger snaps, I think I need to make some more of those. Those look delicious. I've made sure to include some pictures that maybe you have not seen before of some of the funny pictures I take of myself, like here where I shared my pizza roll-ups and calzone with you. We made the sweet and sour pork meatballs. That's a favorite of one of my kids. This slaw, I can't wait to make this again from the garden and on top of brats. Fantastic. My favorite strawberry salad. If you haven't tried that one, make sure you go back, find that, and try it. It's fantastic. Of course, I always bring you along for a taste test, whether we're cooking, canning, or whatever. And it's usually really delicious. Of course, I knew this would be because it is one of my favorite salads. It's not going to be messy. You have to try it. I mean, the saltiness of the bacon, the crunch of the crisp lettuce, the pecans, those strawberries and that dressing. It's just, and a little bit of cheese for the creaminess. It is so good. You really, really need to try this. I made these noodles again just the other day using some of the beef that we canned together, rolled it out and very thin and cut it very thin. It was so good. And my oldest will love this, and so will my husband. That's tasty. We canned some of the pumpkin that we grew and harvested together, and then we found a great use for it by making dog treats. And of course, the dogs were willing to do a taste test. Would you like this? Yes? Okay. We also preserved ginger together. We made this for the freezer, for the pantry, for simmering spice, for powdered ginger and ginger slices. This was a great addition to the pantry. Then this is my ground ginger. I'm really happy with the texture of that. Other things we made for the spice cabinet was garam masala, which I use all of the time, and of course garlic scape powder. This is a staple and so easy, and I always have an abundance of scapes. One thing I always love to share with you in the winter is us tapping our trees and then boiling down the resulting sap into maple syrup. It is so delicious, and I really wish we had more trees to make more syrup. This beats anything you will find in a store. We also made vanilla extract together and vanilla sugar, which I really have enjoyed using, by the way. And it's almost time to strain that vanilla and I guess maybe get another batch started. We also revived my kombucha SCOBY and made that together, which everyone in my family enjoys.
This garden area was new for us last year. If you haven't seen that before, I'll put a video up here. A friend came and tilled it for us and we covered it with this landscape fabric and grew in it, and it did amazing. Now, we didn't have the whole area fenced because we just didn't have enough with all the animals we had at the time. So this year we are utilizing all of it, and we did put down one extra strip, and we are also hoping to prepare an area right next to here to expand even more, because why not? Just because I thought some of you might want to know, I just paced this off with my big size 11s and this is about 55 by 40. So nothing to sneeze at, but still need some more.
We enjoyed and explored various parts of the property together, and of course many times just watched the goats because they brought so much joy.
Excuse me. Excuse me. My shirt is not food, and my camera tripod is not food. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. I said, well, give us more cookies. Okay, I'm excited. I want to be on TV.
And yes, I do need all these plants.
Hi, everybody. We are not on the homestead today. This is my mom and my sister, also known as Grammy and the Frumpy Gourmet and Sissy. We're going to the greenhouse and we're going to buy a lot of plants. So we'll show you all this stuff. Let's get going.
You guys were with me from starting bigger garden beds, adding more raised beds, going to the greenhouse and buying more plants, starting plants, having way too many tomatoes, and various garden tours. We saw my garden looking fantastic, and we also saw it overtaken with weeds. All those spices we make together have to be stored somewhere, and man, was this a mess. And let's be honest, I probably need to do this again.
Follow me in a line out to the back. Goats are so much fun. If you've been here for a while, this is what the backfield looks like right now. We had pigs back here last year. The grass got away from us, but we are keeping this part all mowed down. let's go inside. I found one. It's a big one. I didn't check it for poop first. Oh well, Lord protect me. These are such a perfect garden snack. And it's still a little cool morning. It's overcast. I might have to look for some more, but maybe I'll rinse them off. Here's a nice red strawberry. Let's check it out. That's delicious. I have more down here.
Whether it's outside in the garden or in the kitchen, it looks like we're always taste testing something together.
Because we do not have hydrants outside, this is how we have to run water for our animals outside. My house still has not been repaired yet from the fire that we have. Hopefully that will be fixed soon. But there is a spigot there, and we run that all the way out here. There's a splitter where you see Joe, and there's one from a hose for my garden, hose for the chickens, and then it goes around all through here, and there's a splitter right there at the goats. Can you see the sweat? Whew. If I would have gotten these mulched fully, this whole area, this spring when I planted these, we would not be having so much trouble. So mulch as soon as you can. I took my hat off trying to cool off. As you can see, I'm very flush. I think that my mom would scold me right now. Sorry, Mom. So I'm gonna listen to my body and stop for a little bit because I almost vomited. I don't need to have a heat stroke. So Joe's gonna weed whack back to the tractors. I need to see what feeders and waterers I have to make sure that they're functioning and okay to move these meat birds next week. We are about half done with the elderberries, so we're calling that good for today. We just got to do what we can do. It takes a lot longer without heavy equipment, without a tractor, that kind of stuff, but we're getting it done. So it is possible to homestead and do these things without a lot of money and a lot of equipment. It just takes longer. Oh, look, I gotta show you this. Oh, I'm so excited for all these cabbages. Sorry for the noise. There is a glider going around. Look at this. Oh, we're gonna feed that slug to the birds.
We have another snack, and then I share the hardest and most vulnerable update I've ever had to give you.
Really good. It's been tough since last fall, just different things going on in our personal lives and in our community and things that have been hard. You know, then we had a house fire. You know, I was having some physical struggles with my knee, which it's getting better now. Had some struggles with some family members who had some tough things going on, trying to help them. And then my husband lost his job. I'm not going to give a lot of details about that, but that's been hard. And I started working some too. You know, I've been a stay-at-home mom for our entire marriage of 17 years, but I started doing some work outside of the home, which has been challenging on my body, but you know, it's needed in this season, and it's been good. And then recently we had a tragic accident and our goat Genesis died. If you have livestock, you have dead stock, but that's all great and dandy to say and tell people, but it's not fun to say when it's because you have dead stock. And it's something that could have possibly been prevented. It was not like they died of old age. It's not they died because you harvested them They died because of an accident. But you know, last fall we had gotten rid of most of our goats. So we had 4 goats left, and my husband had a change of heart and wanted to keep them, especially Maybelle. She was one of our first goats. There was reasons we didn't want her to just go to any home, but they're all gone now.
Despite some really low lows, there was so much good, great things. We tried new things. We grew more food than ever before, and I really enjoyed bringing you along for all of it.
Another example in today's episode of Things Want to Grow, whether you help them or not, is this plant.
One big takeaway we had in the garden together this year was how much things would show up and show out despite being neglected, despite the circumstances. So many things grew and so many things were in abundance. It was a wonderful time in the garden despite all of the other struggles.
Today we're going to be talking about canning, and specifically the basics that you'll need to get started. I know it can be a little intimidating with all of the different things out there, and also wondering if you can even do this, because isn't it super expensive? And it does not have to be. You don't have to have all of the bells and whistles and the biggest and the best of everything to get started. So I'm going to go over with you the things that you will need to get started and the different types of canning.
The kitchen is the place that we are together the most, and of course we're usually canning, and I love bringing you along for that process. These blueberries, they were such a blessing and so delicious. We made blueberry jam, blueberry butter, and blueberry syrup.
Wait, I need to taste test this with you first. So there's just a little bit, not a lot, plus there's some on my spatula here, so let's give it a taste test. That's really good. Now I am rethinking my plans. Oh, what am I gonna do? Taste of that. I want to make sure you can see that really well. Oh, doesn't that look good? Wow. All that lemon zest in there, even though it cooked down all that time, it's still like, pow, really bright. That is so good. That's gonna be delicious. I'm gonna have to think of all the different things I can try this on. I mean, obviously toast.
Sharing with you all as I can various things might just be my favorite thing. I'm really passionate about canning and food preservation and sharing how to safely do that with all of you. Whether it is something that I have canned for years or I'm bringing you along as I try something for the first time. This here is a French onion soup, which I had never made before. I really enjoyed using this to put in a roast and things like that. It just made a great pantry staple. And these were homegrown onions. Fantastic.
That bag got me 7 portions, so I'll get these in the freezer. I think 1 more bag or 2 more bags to go. We're gonna go ahead and clean the rim on all of these and get some lids on them. I don't have quite enough to do another canner load of these right now. We're still working on a few more chickens, so I will do another load. I am using 4-jar lids and rings today. If you want to give these a try, you can go to their website and use BFH10 for 10% off of your order.
Becoming an affiliate with 4 Jars was something that also happened this year, and that was such a blessing to me and to my family, and I hope to you guys also, as we're able to offer and share the discount codes with you. I truly do love their products, and this company has just blessed me in so many ways. We also made gifts for people here. We were making pepper jelly, which I gave away most of it this Christmas to everyone's delight. In August, we find ourselves in the month of the Every Bit Counts Challenge. I have shared that with you all, I think, for 3 years, and I participated for a couple of years prior to that. It always stretches me, and it is just so good. I shared an extra video each week with you guys, sharing all of these things, like harvesting so many onions and curing those, tomatoes, making herbed salts, preserving different herbs, harvesting our potatoes and curing them, and of course lots of corn. There's some of that pepper jelly, so many herbs. I loved bringing these in fresh all of the time. We preserved tomatoes in making sauce and also in canned tomatoes like what is here. This was just obviously so much stuff coming from the garden that month. I made things that I hadn't made before, like drying these Thai chili peppers, which we'll be doing something again with those soon. I dehydrated tomatoes and made tomato powder, which I love, and I will definitely be doing that again in the future. And, you know, I never had canned enough banana peppers in the years past, and this year I was having to give them away. I had so many and canned so much. We canned green beans, we harvested and froze elderberries, we had pickles. What is this? This was cabbage. We harvested all of those cabbage together and froze them, and then we made this honey fermented garlic. I have not been brave enough to eat a whole clove yet. We made roasted marinara sauce, which is fantastic. Making this lard was such a great addition to my cooking. We made, I think in this batch, it was 13 pounds of lard. I have rendered other batches down since then, and I think I have another bag, but I love having this on hand. I do keep it in the refrigerator, but what a blessing this was, and this was from fat from our pigs. I got a pretty decent harvest of elderberries considering all the weeds and the birds going after them. It was my first time hanging up those peppers to dry like that, which worked really well. There's more banana peppers and more tomatoes. They were just coming out everywhere, and more onions. Guys, I grew so many onions. We are still working through those, and I would imagine we will still have them when I start growing more. Here's more herbs that we dried together. And then it was time to butcher our chickens. We didn't share the whole process of that, just like on the how-to. YouTube doesn't really like that, but we processed a lot of chicken and we showed you our setup.
What do you mean?
What did you just tell me?
That I did for my hair for you?
Hopefully you guys can see you're at the end of my island here. I'll point it down so you can see what's there, but usually Joe or I stand where Joe's at, then the other one over here by the sink, and we both break down the birds at the same time. But we have some baking trays here to put all the cut pieces on, so then whoever's vacuum sealing can take them from there and put them in appropriate bags. We have a bowl for any schmutz or whatever that we're throwing away, a bowl for pieces to grind, a container with some ice in it for other cuts that maybe we're going to can or something like that. So we put the like pieces with like pieces. And we have the bottom of one of my roasters. I now have 3. Thank you, Tom and his wife, for the third one. And we put all of our carcasses in here as we're going, and then get the bone broth going right away. And we will have all 3 going by the time we're done, just to get it all out of the way. And then I will can it when it's done.
We raise and butcher all of our chicken ourselves that we eat throughout the year. The majority of it gets frozen, but we do can some of it, and we did spatchcock some this year, which that worked really well. And also here there's some ground and then so much broth. All of this was done during the Every Bit Counts challenge as well, so I've got some more of those chili peppers that you can see here. All of the broth that I canned from this year's chickens. We dried more herbs and more habaneros outside, of course, and this is dried sweet peppers, which I had never done before, and I really like having those on the shelf. These were sauce tomatoes. You can see we made a really big pot of sauce, and that was the end of the Every Bit Counts challenge for us. Then we started on some different hot sauces. I have been trying a number of different ones because some of my loved ones love hot sauce. This one was refrigerator and it was delicious. I finally got my own steam canner this year, and I brought you along and showed you how to use one of those. I don't have to borrow my friends anymore, and we made so much grape juice concentrate. Hopefully this coming year, those grapes will be coming from my garden. We also made grape jelly, which is one of my kids' favorites.
Just a little bit. Let's give it a taste test. Of course, it's fantastic. I love grape jelly too. I have not made it for a while because I had made it so much of it the last time that I had canned grape juice concentrate, so I'm completely out. I actually had to buy some store-bought grape jelly, so I was like, no. I'm so glad to have this. Again, I'm gonna have to make some biscuits or some sourdough or something to taste test that some more.
This was another new to me hot sauce, but I love habanero and I love mango, and this turned out fantastic, but it is hot, so I love it. Others maybe not so much.
Get into. You're all dirty. You got stuff all stuck in. Oh, she slimed me. Ew. I don't have a sink hooked up to it yet, but I can bring my hose over here. But I love this little cubby we made so I can stick my soap and my brush in there. It doesn't go flying and it can drain. So just has this flat surface here, and then this is all hardware cloth here, and anything right now will just flow right back here so it won't flood anything. What are you doing? Oh, so pretty. They can't see you. Say see you next time. See you next time. Whew. Breath. Good girl. I am sitting out here in the garden watching and trying to help, and then being told no.
Another crazy thing we walked through together was me finding out I had a hole in my retina and having to have emergency eye surgery, and that resulted in me not being able to really do much of anything for over 4 weeks. I couldn't lift 15 pounds, so there was no gardening, there was no harvesting. My husband took great care of me, but man, was that hard. I am doing fine right now, and I will have another follow-up visit soon. Joe harvested all of these peppers before the frost came, and I was allowed to process them. These are just a few that I put in the freezer. And then it was time to plant the garlic, and of course, I was not allowed to help except for to prepare
It's all
it.
done. I think I gave you a closer look there, so I'm really so thankful to have the garlic in the ground, even though I couldn't do much. And Joe had to scold me a couple of times to not do something.
Some of those hot peppers that we harvested got frozen so we could make even more hot sauce. This was called Station Hot Sauce, and it is good. If you like Frank's hot sauce, things like that, you'll like this one. We also were blessed with this big piece of brisket that we canned together, and also canned some beef broth. This has been such a good addition to my pantry. I've really enjoyed making various meals with it. The last canning project we did together for the year was this pineapple chili dipping sauce, which was so good, and I will definitely be making more of that. I also shared some of my tips and tricks for preparing for the holidays like Thanksgiving. There was also some video showing my mom's place, as earlier in the year I went and spent some time taking care of her while she was sick. This has been a hard year, but a great year, and I'm so thankful that you all have joined me for this journey, and I look forward to sharing so much more with you in 2026. Until next time, God bless.